when you reach no desire for me. You come to worship tonight. I was lost and undone. We don't want no reason when you reach no desire for me. Said when you reach no desire.
When you're down in the valley of despair, cry unto God, the one who cares and always there. When situations weigh you down and it seems you all alone, Jesus, you're more than enough to see me through. Set me free, dear Lord, when I cry unto you. Set me free, dear Lord, deliver me. I plead, I'm praying to you to set me free. I'm crying to you to deliver me. Set me free, deliver me. Please answer me. You are more than enough. Jesus, you brought me from a mighty long way. Deliver me, oh Lord, it's a mighty long way. Straighten my feet, dear Lord, on this Christian pathway. Cover me under your blood and set me free. Mighty long way, oh Lord, it's a mighty long way. Oh yes, mighty long way, Lord, mighty long way. Jesus, you brought me from a mighty long way. Jesus, you covered me from a mighty long way. Look where you brought me from, a mighty long way. I'm pressing my way through straight and narrow way. I'm shouting and singing on the King's highway. Reach that place to get the stars on my crown. Mighty long way, oh Lord.
It's that time again when you're planning your birthday parties, your funeral, your wedding, your anniversary, your family gathering, family reunion, and looking for equipment to rent or even to buy. Look no further than Rick Sales and Rental. Rick specializes in bunks-about, merry-go-round, trampoline, trackless train, snow cone machine, popcorn machine, hot dog machine, tables, chair, tent, pots, pans, knife, fork, and spoon, and many more. Contact Rick today at 631-829-7443 for your discount. Tell him that you were sent there by Chat with the Jacksons. Rick will also encourage you to continue to practice social distancing when you find the best. Why continue to look? Rick is waiting for your call. Call now.
If you are looking for inspiration, I have got the book for you. A Journey Not Yet Complete by Corey Cunningham Brooks. Get your copy today. You can get your copy at Amazon.com or you can call 876-802-0133. 876-802-0133. Get your copy now.
Have you heard about Take Back Loan Services located on the main street in Monique in the lovely parish of St. Anne, Jamaica, West Indies? In case you don't know, we offer personal loan at affordable rate. If you need cash for wedding, birthdays, funeral, Take Back Loan Services is the place for you. For more information, please call Fitzroy at 347-567-6770. Why stress? Come to Take Back Loan Services. After all, we are the best.
Send a shout out to the Jacksons family. And I'm telling you, better days coming. So just hold on. Yeah, man. Better days coming, no need to worry. Life too short, you need to glory. Jesus Christ, me give the glory for my testimony. Better days coming, I need to worry. Life too short, you need to glory. Jesus Christ, me give the glory. I'm a testimony. Tune into the Jackson every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. US time.
Good night, everyone. Welcome to another session of Chat with the Jacksons. I hope everyone had a pleasant day. And as always, we thank you for joining us each and every Tuesday night, where we come to you with topics that are engaging, topics that are relatable to everyday lives. And we just want to say thank you for your input as always. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is. And just stay with us tonight as we embark on the topic of abuse, but we're taking it to another level. And this time it's abuse within a Christian home. We want you to interact with us, give us your thoughts on this topic. And yeah, let's just sit back and chat with the Jacksons.
Good night, God's beautiful children. As my wife says, she's looking elegant as ever.
Thank
I
you.
think I tell you that almost every day.
And of course you do.
I guess we gotta one night we're gonna do the show standing up so they could see your outfit. And I felt proud dressing you this morning. and trust that
Thank you.
trust that you have a marvelous day. And we want to thank you all for joining us tonight, and we encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are up and running now on the YouTube channel, so feel free to just jump over and just take a look and let us know how we are looking over there. We want to thank also Blazing Gospel Radio.ml for partnering with us and bringing us live every Tuesday night from out of Jamaica, West Indies, and join Sister Corey B right after Chat with the Jacksons, where Sister Corey B from the Journey Radio pick it up from out of Brownstown, St. Anne. And we want to thank also Sister Ines Clark. Last night there was a concert in, I want to say Point Hill, but I know it's close to Point Hill. And that was a lovely concert. I enjoyed myself, and so glad that she invited us to be there with her. It was also a pleasure partnering with her. We want to thank all the first-time viewers. We don't take it lightly that you decide to join us. We know you could have gone to other sites. You could have been doing other stuff with your time, but you decide to spend a little time with us, and we truly appreciate it. As my wife said, we want you to interact with us tonight, and feel free even to call us if you want to be a part of this discussion, you could call us at 917-365-7971. It's 917-365-7971, and we'd be happy to take your call as you could be a part of us. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Okay, so as I stated before, tonight's topic is about abuse in a Christian home. We know that there is abuse, regular abuse. Should I say regular abuse? There's abuse in relationships then. But oftentimes, abuse in a Christian home is not spoken of, right? And there can be a number of reasons as to why it's more or less hidden. Should we say hidden or dismissed, if I may say so? And we want to know why that is, because abuse, whether it's in a Christian home or any home for that matter, is not acceptable.
It is sad though, because there are some things that just don't mesh. Like
Such
you
as?
have a chicken and a rat don't mesh, right? A chicken, no,
Your
a rat and a
analogies.
cat don't mesh. So Christians and abuse, it's sad. It shouldn't be.
It, yeah, I agree with you that it shouldn't, but it happens.
It happens.
And
And it happened more than we even would imagine
right.
or know. So that's why we want to expose it tonight.
Right.
We have a couple clips we want to take a listen to. We might not be able to go through all the clips, but we want, because sometimes people might say, no, this thing don't happen, especially in a Christian home, especially in the church. It just does not happen. Well, we want you to listen to some of these individuals who it happened to.
Right.
And
And before you even get into the clips,
Okay.
as I was mentioning to you earlier, in Nigeria, just last week, a very well-known singer was abused for years by her husband, who is a pastor, right? And it's just so unfortunate that the outcome was death. And she died a vicious death, as a matter of fact. And now there are four young children that have no parents because mother has passed away, father is now incarcerated. So 4 children are left without parents to be parented by other people. And as you stated earlier, this is something that should be exposed. It shouldn't be because, oh, he's a pastor, he's my pastor, and I know that this is taking place. I shouldn't speak up about it. I know there are some cultures that would say, don't leave your marriage, don't divorce because of abuse or for whatever reason. You should stick it out, endure it. I saw a statement that said, keeping of no wrong, which I don't agree with, because if I'm in a relationship, a Christian relationship, let's say my husband is a minister and, he's preaching to a congregation Sunday after Sunday, telling them how to live, and behind closed doors, he's beating the crap out of me, then, the hypocrisy of it all, right? How are you going to pray to God to be a good leader, a good husband, and whatever, when you're being, a hypocrite? Because you're teaching your flock or the congregation one thing, but you're not practicing what you're preaching.
Well, you have some minister who says that say what I say, but don't do what I do.
Well,
And there are
they
some
need to be off
ministers.
the pulpit.
There are some ministers who think that they are above God's law because they are the shepherd. But a shepherd should watch over the flock. And the way you watch over the flock sometimes is by the life that you live. You can't be living some, as you said, hypocritical life and then want to come and preach to me.
Right.
But I see Sister Hillary says that one of the reasons is shame. This is felt by the victim.
As a matter of fact, I'm glad she pointed that out, because that was one of my subpoints. A feeling of shame. Yes, and I agree with that, because you're in the limelight, right? You're giving the example again. If my husband is a minister, and Sunday after Sunday, Wednesday night after Wednesday night, you name it, right? He's teaching how to live, how to do everything he's teaching is biblical. But when he gets home, he's inflicting abuse on his wife. And she has to pretty much keep up appearance each and every time she's in public, because, she cannot vocalize what she's going through out of shame and fear, of course, and just the stigma of, oh my God, how could the pastor's wife be abused behind closed door? So oftentimes it's not spoken about, right? And another thing too, one of the big things also is financial independence. She may not be working. There are young children to care for, and she's totally dependent on her spouse. So what do I do? And I think sometimes, and this is just my personal take on it, sometimes these reasons to me are a cop out, because there's no way, absolutely no way that I will sit in a relationship being abused day in and day out and not find some way to get out, right? There are a lot of times people on the outside that are looking in and say, well, why don't she leave, or why don't he leave? More so than ever, it's always the woman that's, I would say, on a larger percentage that's being abused. And sometimes, we may trivialize it, or we may think it's that easy, but oftentimes it's not as easy as it looks. Again, because you have young children. How am I going to take care of these kids? Where am I going to go? So you often sit back and endure until sometimes it's too late.
Well, I think I might not agree with you to a point. And I think, as you say, that's just you're looking reason to stay. If the abuse gets
No. I'm not saying you're purposely looking for a reason to stay. Some of the examples that I gave, financial dependence, rather, not independence, financial dependence.
Right.
You're totally dependent on this spouse, and you have young children, right? You may tell yourself that I have no type of recourse. Where am I going to go?
well,
as we say that this is in a Christian home,
Right.
right?
Yes.
And if it's in a Christian home, you have to trust God, right? If you stay there, and I know most of what I'm looking at, it says that the men are the abuser,
Yeah.
but you do
9
have
out
some
of-
women
Yes, I
who
know
abuse
that.
men also.
Right.
But if you stay there and said, listen, I don't have nowhere to go, I don't have no money, and I'm not trusting God, then you're going to die. And when you die, somebody would have to take care of the kids.
Right. But you're
So
not,
the
you're
hardest
not
thing for you,
looking at
the
it.
hardest thing is for you to say, you know what? I will arise and go back to my father. I'm sure if I'm abusing you and you call your mom and you said, Mom, I'm coming home. She's not gonna say, I don't think she's gonna say, well, stay with your husband under this abuse.
Definitely not.
If it's even to go and cool off for a time, get some help. First of all, you need to seek help. And I think one of the reasons why some of the sisters stay, it's because maybe their husband have a big position in the church, and they want to be like the first lady. They want to
They
be
don't
up
want
there.
to be like they are. That title, first lady, they don't want to lose that.
They want to remain, right? They want to remain there. So they would rather stay and take the abuse.
But remember what I said to you earlier. I think where we were coming from. We were driving somewhere, and we touched on that first lady thing. And I said, my father, created me to be a first lady, regardless of how a man or a congregation may perceive me. I'm a first lady in my father's eyes, from my birth up until now. So regardless if a person says first lady, that's not really, that's just that person's take on it. Then it doesn't faze me one bit,
Right.
if I'm called first lady or whatever. But yes, diverting from that, yes, I do believe that a lot of women, gravitate to that title, first lady, and they don't want to lose that, even though they're being abused at home. So, and the thing about it too is that they cannot, or they feel that they cannot speak to someone about it. Oh, and during my research on this topic, right, as a couple, let's say a Christian couple, the woman may go to her pastor and say, this is what's going on in the home. And I just cannot deal with it. So now I'm coming to you for advice. Now I'm coming to you for help. And a lot of times that pastor would instruct her to go home and try to work it out with her husband and try to be a bit more submissive. And I was just very angry at that response. How could you, as my pastor, I'm coming to you, possibly showing you scars that are still on my body that was inflicted by my spouse, who's supposed to know better, who's supposed to be a Christian man, and you're telling me to go back home to that home and work it out and then be more submissive.
Well, is there a pastor that say that?
Yes.
Well, you have some people have the title, but I don't really respect them as title. And on Facebook, Rosemary Hadburn said this is a topic that I'm really going to give a listening here too. So, and we want to welcome Sister Bella Blair. We want to welcome Mr. Dwight Shorts.
Okay, as you
welcome,
mentioned him.
Sister Annette McDonald and Sister Hillary Senior. Welcome. She said, another is a victim. Another is a victim. Think that it is okay because they were socialized like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also, Dwight Short says, there are plenty wolves in sheep clothing, brother. They use the ministry like a job, not doing God's work sincerely. Yes, and that's so true because right here in Brooklyn, if you walk down the street and look at both sides of the street, there's so many churches. Sometimes there's two churches right next to each other, and you're like, wait a minute, so many churches, right? And it's just mind-boggling at times, but nevertheless,
Sister Hillary Senior says, this is a good point, that who needs help? She said, these abused and the abuser need help. So we need to seek them out and offer help through therapy or by tangible ways. Tangible ways.
Yeah,
which is-
sometimes an abuser don't see anything wrong with their actions, right? And trying to get that person to go to therapy is like pulling teeth. Also, the person that's being abused at times will think that maybe I deserve it, and think negatively of themselves because, you're saying, well, I do everything right for my husband and kids or whatever, my family. So maybe there's something that is lacking in me, why I'm being abused. You tend to put the guilt on yourself, so to speak, when in fact, the abuser is the one that needs to be reprimanded, right? And that abuser should know better too, because again, you're in a Christian home, right? But it's a very sad state of affair, and it's getting now more so than ever. We find that with economical situations, financial situations, family life, and all of that, we're finding abuse is on the rise.
Yeah.
Right. And not just in a regular home. We are finding out that it's on the rise in a Christian home too. But a regular household would more so seek help, while in a Christian home, it's concealed.
Right.
And we're trying to unseal that, so to speak.
So it's not that in a Christian home that they would not seek help. It's not that they don't want help. They just don't want to be exposed.
Right.
Or
but
the
you're
pastor
gonna
will
sit
say,
there and be black and blue each and every day. And then what?
all they do, they put almost a lipstick. What is the name? Shadow.
Mascara,
Blush.
Foundation to
Over
cover it
it,
up. But
because
I
it-
mean, how long can you cover up the physical scar? The emotional scar is going to be embedded in you.
Right.
So what do you do then? And then you have kids in the household that are looking at you, that know what's going on. How can you teach those children, or what can you teach those children in regards to standing up for yourself, not accepting abuse when they get older?
Okay. Let's see what Sister Bella Bear says, that she agree with you, Sister Jackson. Sometimes the ladies stay because they are afraid. and afraid of the male and what they can do to them. And some stay because of children, while some stay because they don't have nowhere to go. And around 20% of women abuse male. And in church, sometimes it's because of position.
Right. Yeah.
church.
We mentioned that earlier. Yes, a lot stay because of your position in the church. But I mean, everything that's done in the dark eventually will come to the light because I'm in a marriage that I'm being abused. I'm in a Christian marriage, Christian home, and I'm being abused day in and day out. There's gonna come a time when I'm gonna reach my breaking point, and that breaking point may be one that will land me in jail.
Oh, well,
Or it may land my spouse in jail. So before we get to that, crossroad, we need to come to some type of consensus as to how we're going to address this.
as I said, land your spouse in jail. Would you do that?
Listen, you know me, and I'm going to be as transparent can be. Again, there is no way, there is no amount of love in this world or on this planet for me to sit in a marriage, right, and have my spouse beat me to a pulp and sit there and accept it just so that I could keep up appearance or have a title and, play the part when I'm in public, but behind closed doors, I'm being tortured, So I do what I have to do because I'm defending myself.
No, I'm saying that would you have him arrested?
Yes, definitely.
After how many times?
Well, listen, you have just one chance to put your hands on me. Once.
Well,
And we talk about that a lot.
I think no, I'm not sure if I ever believe you. I mean, so you said your husband abused you just one time, and you will have him arrested.
Yeah,
one
because
time.
first of all, the Lord didn't put you or put me on this planet for no man to put their hands on me, right? So the first time it happened, the shock of it, right? And even then, maybe that first time I'm calling the cops too. Because what reason would you have to be putting your hands on me?
Well, I see Sister Bella Blair agreeing with you, but I think the first thing I would do if my wife is abusing me, I will have a discussion with her first. Because maybe I'm not saying hold on, because I'm not talking about right or wrong now, because we know it's wrong. So we are not saying that I'm gonna talk to you because right or wrong. But it could be something that the husband or the wife does snap. You never see this type of behavior in him before. Right? And he just come up, he might have a bad day, he just snap. And he just maybe, as Bella Blair said, Bella Bear says that her body don't make to take this type of hit. No, sir. At all, my body can't take these bruises.
But let me tell you something.
At all. So, I think before you just run to the police, because you might even call the police and you might be sorry tomorrow.
But you're going to snap. You snapping and hitting me. Why not snap and break up your car? Why not snap and go drive in your car somewhere? Why not snap and break some glass? Why not snap and do something else? Why are you going to snap and hit me?
Yeah, but why not just, after he snapped, try and get him some help instead of trying putting him in jail for the first time? What about the church? Um, I mean, that's what the
And
Bible says.
oftentimes, going back to the church, yes, going back to the church, a lot of times, and I'm not saying all ministers are like that, but there's a large percentage of ministers, pastors, that would tell you try to work it out with your spouse, pray about it more, and will tell the husband, make sure it doesn't happen again, and he's gonna, you know, go on his knees and say it will never happen again, honey, and then next week it happens again.
Sister Hillary Cedar says that if it takes sending him to jail, that definitely where he is going.
Yes, because it's not going to
and
be
I
a
want Sister,
one-time thing.
right? I want Sister Hillary to answer if it's a one-time thing. And Brother Dwayne makes a good point. We are talking about physical abuse here, but there are sometimes that the sisters give us emotional and verbal abuse.
Right, and we're not saying abuse of any kind or any type is condoned or acceptable, but we're specifically focusing on physical abuse because that's very prevalent in our Christian homes, and it's not being addressed. It's not being addressed by the pastors that we go to complain, the pastors that are supposed to be the ones to be guiding us and giving us instructions. They oftentimes tell you to be, again, like the example that I gave earlier. During my research, this one pastor told the wife to go home and be more submissive and pray about it more. And
did the guy hit?
Told her keep no wrong.
Did he hit her?
Obviously, honey.
And the pastor just say, "Go home and be submissive."
Yes, talk about it, and pray about it more. And maybe she wasn't being submissive enough, so she needs to be more submissive.
Okay, let's say
my God.
good night to Sister Dorothea Green. Welcome, Sister Inez Clark. A great concert last night. Bella Blair said, "Preach, Sister Jackson. Agree 100%." Sister Hillary said, "Yes, Susan. One chant and in Ghana jail."
Exactly.
Oh God, Sister Hillary.
She also said, Miss Hillary says, "Let me share. I had a friend who, while we were playing around, he said, 'Bet you me box you.' And that was the end of the relationship. I didn't stick around to find out if he really carried it out." It would have been the end of the relationship for me too, because
Well,
it would be pretty if he had put his hand on me.
I have a cousin and she don't play those type of games. She tell me that she don't play. So if her husband or whatever wanna play and try about hit me and whatever, she don't play those type of things. So don't put your hand on her.
Yeah, he's testing you.
Right.
Dwayne Nugent said, "At what point do emotional outbursts from an adult in a home call for church discipline or for the involvement of the local church leadership?" I'm talking about verbal put-downs aimed at children and cuss words and raised voices using anger to force an opinion on the home in a consistent pattern.
Okay, let me answer.
Go ahead.
Okay.
And I'll add my piece to it too.
Okay. And that's what we have the church for. You have the shepherd and you have the sheep. And if you are a sheep, you're gonna go to your shepherd.
What if the shepherd is not shepherding?
You see, if a shepherd is not shepherding, that's not a shepherd. I'm talking about a shepherd. Because not every door I see open, I go and say that's a good shepherd. And I'm not going to associate myself if it's not a good shepherd. So if you have your partner which is abusing you verbally, or as he said, when do I go to the church? And I think where we are getting it wrong is that time we are running to the church for the first. At the first, something go wrong tonight, tomorrow you were in church with elder and deacons and so forth.
Well, let me stop you for a second. Now, what if it's a situation where, as you said before, you had a rough day and you came home and you
No,
snapped?
he's talking about emotional outbursts.
Yeah, you could come home and you snap, and
Right.
it's just
Yeah, I have to
what's
tell you a
coming
thing or two.
out of your mouth is like, what? Where's all of that coming from?
Uh-huh.
That's gonna make me say, obviously something is wrong here.
Exactly. So that's my point. So now you found out that something is wrong. So the first place is not to run outside of the home. That's not the first place. The first place is in your home.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we could talk about it, but what if we spoke about it today?
Exactly.
And
right.
then next
Well,
week,
that's where we are getting to when we go to the church. I'm getting to when we go to the church.
okay.
Because the Bible says, even for a brother or sister, or even for your wife and your husband, you could use it there. That there are times that we have to cover over a multitude of sin. So if there's something that I can talk to my wife about, and we can settle it here, we don't need to get Sister Nancy and Sister Pansy and Sister whoever in it.
That's if
If
it's a
we can
case-
work it out at home.
That's if it's a case of verbal abuse. But
Right.
if we're talking about actual physical abuse, there's no working it out at home.
And I don't agree. I mean, I don't agree because I'm saying that, and I'm not into the abuse. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying that your wife maybe grabbed me in my throat one time. I'm not gonna say, well, then I'll grab me 2 times. Maybe I'll go back and it's wrong. It's wrong. Maybe I'll go back and say, what did I do wrong for her to snap? Did I contribute to it? Let's have a discussion about it.
Yeah, but
I'm not
that's-
gonna say that because you grab me in my throat. Listen, me I go pack my little Dulcimina and gone.
But then everything inside your head is going off like this has never happened before. What would make her?
That's what I said. We're gonna get to it. So maybe that's the time that you're gonna call your mother and say, "Listen, I'm on the Greyhound bus. I'm coming down for a week, and I'm gonna cool
I'll
off.
be on Southwest.
I'm gonna cool off, and then we're gonna talk about this. We're
No,
gonna talk about this.
I'll be on Southwest, and I'm not coming back.
But if you're not gonna come back for the for just one offense, then I don't know.
No,
Sister
because
Ines Clark.
I don't condone physical abuse. You put your hand on me once, that's one time too many. Right?
Sister Ines Clark, I should put my hand on you. I don't know what you mean, but I'm gonna put my hand on you. That's what they're talking about, Sister Ines. I'm not sure.
It just
Let
better
us know.
be for that reason.
Okay, Sister
Okay.
Hillary. Sister Hillary, before you go, she want to share something. You want to She said, let me share. I had a friend who, while we were playing around,
Yeah,
he said,
I read it.
Oh, you did?
That. Yes.
Okay, I didn't know you was reading. Oh, you're going
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Him do it once, it can do it again.
And again. And
Yes,
again.
Brother Fitzroy. But yes, we'll forgive him when he do it first time. Me, I give 7 chances. Me, I give 7 chances.
7? Who said that?
That's Bella Blair say, me, I give 7 chances. And that's good.
7? Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow,
good.
You're a good woman. You put your hands on me one time. You're not gonna get a second chance to put your hand on me again.
Oh, okay. Sister, um, Sister Hillary said, "Yes, Brother Jackson. The first time he hit me is going to be the last time."
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't agree, Sister Hillary. You know, and as I
I
said,
want to hear your
as I said, it depends. I know Mr. McKinnon, who's our engineer, he said that's my favorite word, but I haven't used it in a long time, so I could borrow it a little now. It all depends. It all depends. I'm not, and I'm going to continue to say that for the night, I'm not into abuse, violence, and all those things. But I'm not going to say that somebody called me over to say that my wife hit me, and the first thing I'm going to tell the person is to pack your bag. No.
No, you're gonna
I'm
find
gonna
out
try
the
and see.
reasons. What's the reason why?
Exactly. Well, now we're starting. But
Yeah.
if you're going to leave, why you want to know the reason? If you're going to leave, why you want to sit and discuss it and you're going to leave?
So you've never exhibited that type of behavior before. We have had disagreements and whatever. Maybe sometime it has gotten heated, but never where you put your hands on me. But in this particular instance, you put your hands on me.
Right.
So-
And then I'm saying that we could talk about it. I mean, I have to show that I'm sorry, and I have to make it up to you, and I
Well,
have to
that
seek
now
help.
changes
I have
the
to seek
dynamics
help.
of the relationship. That definitely will change the dynamics of the relationship.
Well, maybe, but then I'm gonna win it back over. I'm gonna do the right stuff, and and win back your trust.
Yeah, but there may be skepticism. I may not be, it's like I'm always going to have my guard up because in the back of my head, I'm going to be thinking it's going to happen again.
So you don't believe in forgiveness, then?
It's not that I don't believe in forgiveness, but in this particular instance, where you put your hand on me, I mean, there's a lot of spouses that say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and the other spouse forgives, and then next week it happens again, and then the following week it happens again. So,
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
what do you do then?
Okay, Mr. Dwight Shorts. That's a very good question. He said, "Guys, how long being with a person before you can realize he or she is an abuser?" And sometimes, as you say, is that I think I have a clip, and one of the clip that we have tonight, it says that this lady says that this man, he hides behind everything. He even come in the church just to get her. And when this man started to abuse her, she was shocked. So there are times that you can't just come and say how long that you can realize. And there are times that there are some signs that we overlook these signs.
Right.
It
Yeah,
is
because-
there, and we overlook them and said, well, no, I'm so much in love. But we have to pay attention to these little signs.
Right.
And then he says that how long should two people be together before they should get married?
Well,
And-
that's something that there's no one answer for. There's no, because you have people that meet today and by next week they get married. You have people.
Well, I don't agree with those type of things.
Well, you may not agree with it, but it happens. And sometimes these marriages last years and years and years. While you have some people that have known each other for years and decide to get married, and 6 months later they're divorced.
So you're telling me that-
you cannot, there's no one right answer for this.
So
it,
you-
it depends on the people, on the two people.
So you were telling me that somebody meet this week and get married next week, and that is out of love?
That's not for me to give a definitive answer. They could be head over heels in love.
Okay,
You
but
know,
head over
that's on
heels. Or
them.
head over heels in love with what?
But we're straying from the topic.
I
Jay.
know, but because he asked this question, I was thinking that we could bring a topic. We could bring a topic from that
Well,
also.
yeah, a topic could be derived from that. How long should you be with a person before you get married? But
I would
that's
say
not
until you fall in love with the person. But I just think 1 month is too early
but
for you to
that's
talking
not-
about marriage.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. You know, like I said, people have done it and have been in marriages for 20 years, 30 years, whatever, and it worked for them. So I don't have an answer.
Okay,
for
tell
that,
me
but
if you
nevertheless.
agree with Sister Ines Clark, because I don't. And Sister Ines Clark said no pastor supposed to tell a male or a female to stay in an abused relationship.
I agree.
I disagree. I agree that it should not be an abusive relationship. But what I'm expecting the pastor to do is to see if he can bridge it. Maybe it cannot be bridged, but the pastor should see if he can bridge this relationship.
How is he gonna bridge it when I'm being
Because
battered
because
and
if the,
bruised?
because the brother might come to himself after we go to pastor, and pastor sit him down and give him a couple words, give him a couple scripture. This brother might come to himself. Pastor might advise you.
May.
I'm saying, yeah, before we even go to leave, pastor might even, put him under a 12 weeks course, or ask him to go see counseling and so forth. There's some work that you need to do before.
Okay, so all right, let's say all of that is put in place, right? He has gone through all of that.
Right?
2 months later, he's inflicting licks on me again. Then what?
Well, I think pastor is gonna tell you to move out for a while.
Move on for a while.
Yeah, and see and see. No, pastor, he's gonna tell you to move out for a while.
Move on for a while.
Yeah.
A while. How long is a while?
Well, maybe until maybe he can come to himself, or until if he can't come to himself, then
There's no coming to himself, Jay. He went through a 12-week course on how to come to himself. 2
Susie.
months later,
you have never been addicted to nothing. And I'm talking like when
Listen,
I was addicted to
listen.
crack or so forth.
listen,
That there are many times that you say to yourself that listen, no crack today. But you see when you see that crack, you
I've
say
never
no
been-
crack tomorrow.
I've never been addicted to crack.
So that's why
or
I'm telling you.
anything. But
Uh-huh.
physical abuse is pain. It's pain, right? I may end up in the hospital with broken bones, black eye, you name it. And a pastor is going to tell me to move on for a while until my spouse comes to his senses.
Okay, Bella Blair here. Bella Blair says that no, she's answering this 7 times. She said, "Remember, say I love him." But Bella Blair, remember, he don't love you. Am I right? She's saying that she love him, so she will stay there.
If you're gonna be beating me,
Right.
You obviously you don't love me.
And then so if you go back, because Bella Blair, I'm really concerned about Bella Blair's statement. She says that she will forgive him and stay with him because me love him, and so I forgive him because I am soft-hearted.
You better get a tough heart, girl.
Yeah, you should just move the soft heart out of it, because that means you're gonna stay there, and this man is gonna kill you with your soft heart.
Because he knows your weakness. right?
And then
he
men-
knows your weakness, so he's gonna come and say, "Baby, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. You know I love you," and of course you're gonna forgive him. 2 weeks later, back to the licks, and he's gonna come back again with
Sister-
the same sweet talk.
Sister, I have Pastor Denzel Miller on, and he's not helping me, Sister Ines Clark said that's a crazy pastor that.
Exactly.
But I'm saying that a pastor is not trained to break up relationship.
No,
A pastor is trained to put relationship together.
right. However, if this pastor knowingly know that this spouse is constantly beating his wife, he needs to put a
You
stand.
see, now you're not being fair, because you adding
How?
words to it.
How
We're
so?
talking about you. We're talking about a one time when we go to pastor. Now you're saying a constant thing. If it's
Right.
a constant thing, pastor is gonna tell you, okay, pack up your two little bungle and move.
But okay,
But
so-
we were talking about your husband snap and hit you one time.
you're lucky if you're gonna live. No, but in all honesty and seriousness, though, going back to that particular incident 2 weeks ago with that Nigerian singer, her name is very long, so I can't pronounce it. Her husband was a very prominent pastor. I mean, with a big congregation like you would have Joel Austin or whatever. And she was a very well-known gospel artist, right? And this man was beating the life out of her, and she confided in another pastor about what was going on, and he trivialized it. After her death, he wants to come out and say, oh, he's sorry or whatever. What are you sorry for now? She's dead.
Okay. If you wanna look at Dwight Schartz.
Actually,
What?
before I go to Dwight, Unique Lauren said, I grew up in a home where we as children growing up, we have never seen our parents neither argue or fight. So for me, I will never accept the abuse. If my husband hit me, it's going to be both ways because it is going to be a fight. And when he sees that I'm retaliating, he won't even think about or try to do it again.
Oh, okay.
And
But how it gonna make it right if you're gonna if your partner is an abuser, or I don't want to use the word abuser because it's a very strong word. If he snap one time,
you're
and then
so
you're
fixed
gonna
on
say,
that snap one time.
and then you're gonna say that, listen, if you snap me, I gonna snap too. Then that might be some
because
that might be some debt in that relationship there.
okay, so you
Somebody
snap.
must remain calm.
There's no calmness after that. There is no calmness because, like you said, you snapped and hit me.
Yeah.
The shock of you hitting me may make me retaliate by taking at something and whack you upside the head.
And then what gonna happen?
Well,
Sometimes we have to think before we do stuff.
well,
because there's
obviously
some
you weren't thinking.
that is true.
You
But
weren't thinking.
some women know that they can beat the man, but at the same time they want to retaliate by hitting him back.
But why would you put your hand on me in the first place?
Well, that's why you have the church. You go to the church, and
But what if
It's
the
not
church
right.
is
It's
not
not right.
It's not right all around. But what if the church is not, standing their ground and say this should not happen? Instead of saying go home and work it out with your spouse.
right, we want to say good night to brother Jimmy Fagan, and we want to congratulate him and his new song. He have some very good songs out.
And he made a comment. So he said, licking is a no-no. Counseling is a must before any form of reconciliation. Very good point.
Okay.
Else, it is gonna happen again. But permanent split up after the first or second offense, nah.
Okay. Thank you very much, my brother.
Well,
I really
listen,
work
I
hard.
mean-
I really work hard for that. one.
He's not
Okay.
agreeing with you. He's voicing his take on it.
I know, but he's
In my
he's saying the
opinion-
right thing.
No, in my opinion, like I said, after the first incident, listen, I'm not gonna stick around to find out what's gonna happen a second time, or if there's gonna be a second time.
Okay, Dwight Short says, reason why I ask these questions, because the only thing a person was born with his age. If he or she is an abuser, it was there from the first day they met. So it just takes some time before it starts to show up. Agree, brother and sister.
Yeah, you have
So
some
and
people,
that is true.
yeah, like somebody said earlier, you have wolves in sheep clothing. They come all nice and everything, show you
Right,
their
when I-
best side until when you fully get into the relationship now, then you see, the layers are unfolding.
But there's nothing about fully getting a relationship, because if I get in a relationship and my wife want to abuse me, then I fully get out.
Right, exactly. And that's what I'm trying to
So that's why I
say.
said no. But this is before, when you see these signs.
But
And then
sometimes
other
you
people
don't
think that
see
because
the
they're
signs
married-
until you get married and you're in this person's face day in and day out. That's when you start seeing this person for who they really are. A lot
Right.
of people don't show you their full self until after you get into a marriage, and then you're like, who is this person?
Right. When it's Sister Hillary said, physical abuse is a sign that this person who executes it need help.
And yes, there are times that that person seeks help and they genuinely change, but there are times that the person do seek help and they're fine for a while, but then they resort back to being an abuser, and sometimes even worse. They inflict it on that person even worse.
Sister Inez Clark tell me, wow, the time run away like that. Sister Inez Clark said, as long as he put his hand on you once, he will be always doing it. You
I
agree with that?
Yeah.
And I don't agree there. I mean,
Mommy says-
it is a trend that more than likely, but they have a few people who will change.
Very small
I'm
percentage.
sorry. Well-
very slim percentage. My mom says an abuser will not change. And I agree with that.
And I don't agree. Whatever you want to do and you put your mind to do it, you can do it.
Jay, I would say a person that physically abuses a person, they get this rush. They get a gratification out of doing it. I watch
And,
enough Investigation Discovery.
I know,
to
but let me tell you something. You see, if a man really love you, because at some of the times,
there's no
and
love there. If you put in your hands on me, there is
you
no
might not
love.
agree. You might not agree with me, but some of the time, it's because, let me see. Oh, I could season this now.
You better come correct.
the abuser, who is the man this time, he will change, But all right, sometimes some women get hit, and the first thing the woman do tomorrow, go back and apologize to the man, and said, "I'm the one who caused you to hit me." So
because
sometimes you enable.
But you see,
Instead
in a
of you helping
situation
him.
like that, her self-esteem is already low. And she may feel that because he hits her, she is the cause of it. So that's why she feels the need to apologize.
Oh, okay.
Now, that gives him more power to say, well,
That's what I'm saying.
and then there's going to be a next time.
Right. So that's what I'm saying, that if the sister, the first time it happened, address it properly and say to this man, the abuser, listen, if this continue, I'm gone. If that man really love you, that man will change.
I don't know that one.
If that man love you, that's Alexa. If that man love you, that man will
Jay?
change. So I don't agree that
That man
abuser
could
always
tell you
gonna be
he loves
abuser.
you until the planets open up, the earth open up, whatever. That's not love. He's
Right.
just telling you that so that you don't leave.
Okay.
Right? When you do get the courage to leave, a lot of these abusers end up stalking you to the point where they kill you. Because in their head, if I can't have you, nobody else is going to have you. You know,
Okay.
there's so many of these particular instances that happen day in and day out.
Okay, I agree with Sister Hillary. Sister Hillary says that I am not physically strong to put up a physical fight, so I am running for my life.
Exactly.
Right, but you say you're gonna stay and fight. You're gonna find something, find a pan and bump him back over his
Yeah,
head.
you say you snap. So obviously I'm snapping too.
But you might, yeah, you might snap and die. When you snap, you might die. So you better just run for your life, run away from this crazy man. Instead of you say about putting up a fight with him, I'm running for my life.
Well, at the end of
If
the day,
anybody asks me, what's the matter with you, Jackson? Me running for my life. Okay, so Sister Bella Blair says that
Bella Beer.
Bella Bear, Bear, Bear. Bella Bear, I almost said Blair again. Bella Bear says, why I say I will forgive him 7 times, because when I forgive him and go and get help, he changed. And I agree. If you want to change.
It's a very slim percentage that
Right,
do
but
change. Very slim.
But you have to ask yourself if your relationship worth that slim.
Well,
We're taking a chance with that
there's no
slim percent.
relationship worth me getting hit. That's for sure.
You just stick and get in the hit.
No, I'm not sticking around to be getting no hits. God didn't put me on this earth for no man to be beating up on me.
That is true. I agree. But then, God also says that you should try and save your marriage. I know you're going to say he didn't want to save it, that's he wouldn't hit you.
I honestly, I'm not staying in a marriage that I'm physically being abused. So there goes.
Okay. And Sister Inez is saying that there are some men who get abused by their wife, beat up them husband, Yeah. Beat up them
And
husband.
like we said before, abuse is not just, the man abusing the woman, but there are women that do abuse as well. But on a larger percentage, it's the man that's always the abuser.
Sister Hillary says that even while she's running, right, for her life, and she gonna forgive him, but I ain't staying. She's
No.
not gonna stay with him.
Exactly. And again, you have to remember that you have children in the home that are looking at these situations that are taking place, right? And it's not a healthy environment to raise children in a home where, the father is beating up on the mother, and then come Sunday morning, we all get dressed and go to church. I mean, what for? And then by the time you come home Sunday evening, oh, you burned the rice, licks. Oh, I didn't like how the chicken tastes, licks.
Bella Blair said if she forgive him 7 times and him not change, then there are some other things that she gotta do.
Well, you're a strong woman, because it's not gonna get to the 7th time with me. But that's just me.
Oh.
Yeah, there was two clips that one in particular that we wanted to share, and this particular lady, she was married before, and I think she had 3 daughters. She's from Jamaica, and then she was introduced to a pastor, and this pastor was supposed to be giving her counseling, right? She stated that there were certain things about his congregation that she liked, and eventually, fast forwarding, she ended up
And there's something she didn't like either.
right. Yeah, there's some things she
Let's
didn't
take
like.
let's take maybe a couple minutes listen. Hopefully.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. Right off the bat, guys, thank you so much for your continued support. It means a lot. So guys, we've been hearing of a number of our clergymen, or what we call our pastors, elders, men in the church, being arrested for rape, abuse, and so many other things. And I don't know if you've been wondering, what about their wives? What about the woman behind the scenes who sleeps with these men beside them, who supports them, who stand behind them in the pulpit? Is it that these women were aware of what was going on? Did they reach out to anybody? Are they aiding and abetting these kinds of behaviors? Well, in our next interview, my guest is going to be sharing her truth regarding what she observed from being behind a clergyman. And of course, being married to one, the struggles she herself had to endure. Guys, stay tuned. This one is about to get very steamy. It might get a little tearful. So grab your tissue, grab your popcorn, grab a little wine or some hot milk and come back. Press that subscribe button as well. See you soon. Soon come back.
Uniquely me is uniquely you. Balancing the different hats of life, achieving all your goals in the name of Christ. Uniquely me is uniquely you. You can do anything. With the S on your chest, you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. You are a winner and you're an overcomer. You can be all things to Christ who gives you strength. Yeah, you are a fighter. You're so determined. Uniquely me is uniquely you.
Welcome back, guys, to Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. Guys, I have with me Caroline Bryan. Many of you know her as Caroline Britton, but we are about to dig into a whole heap of stuff. Caroline, welcome to Uniquely Me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Caroline, let me tell you, I don't know if I slept last night. There was just so much on my mind. I guess so many questions. I'm just looking forward to this interview. I know you've been out there talking in support of wives. But before we get there, we want to dig into who is Caroline. Because what we want is for persons to understand the woman.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah. So my name is Caroline, as many would know me. I am the last of 10. I was born and raised in Victoria, Top Clarendon. I am from a Christian background, mother being the elder of the church, father also being the elder. And so I grew up in the church, actively taking part in church.
Yeah.
And then later on, I got married, I had 3 girls, and then I got divorced from that gentleman, and then I moved on to marrying a second time, this time to Oral Britton.
All right, so life before that, growing up, what did you want to be when you were growing up?
I always wanted to be a nurse. As a matter of fact, I did a course at Knox Community College. And when it was time for us to come to Kingston, they told us that the subject, it was not registered, so I had to start all over again. So I ended up being a teacher. But I love it because being a teacher, you're a janitor, you're a nurse, you are just about everybody in one.
You get 10 for 1. Yes. But like, so we're really going to talk a little more about you as the wife.
Yeah.
So you got married first, 3 children, and had to move on. Do you have any regrets regarding that first marriage?
To be honest with you, the first marriage was filled with abuse of all kind, and that led me to the second marriage because it was the struggles that I was going through that propelled me to see a minister. So I was searching. I told a group of friends that I had that I really needed a turn in my life in 2013. I couldn't take this anymore because the first marriage was on and off. We were separated for like 2 years, then we went back, and I was just tired of it because going back into it, it came with the same thing all over again. So I wanted a change. And so my friends told me that they knew of a minister. Man, once you meet this man, he'll tell you everything that's happening, and so you'll know the way forward. So I looked forward to that first Wednesday in 2013 to meet the bishop that I heard so much about.
So let me ask you something. So the bishop never married at the time?
No, he was divorced.
Oh, okay. So you met the bishop on the first Wednesday. What happened from there?
And then we had fasting that Wednesday. We had a good time, and so I saw some things that were different from the regular church that I was going to. Some I had questions about it in terms of when he entered, he would not come to praise and worship or the section where you have scripture reading and so. But when it is time for him to minister, he came in and you had to stand for him. And I mean, this was kind of different from my regular church where the minister would have been there throughout the service from the beginning. I also saw him laying hands on the sick and they were healed, or people were demon possessed and they were vomiting. These were some things I've never seen before, so I was enthused for the change, for something different, because I myself was hurting and I wanted something different. So I thought this was
the difference,
as the Savior sent from God with the change.
Your first husband was a part of the church?
Not that same church.
No, ma'am, but within the church.
Yes.
And you mentioned that you're saying that there was abuse of all sorts in that first marriage.
Very aggressive.
You see why I'm asking, because we have this notion that our men in church are saints, and I'm really saying with a smile. Our men in church, they're not getting in trouble. Them not talk to them wife certain way. Them not beat them wife. Them not aggressive. Them nice like.
Yes.
But you are saying that that's not necessarily the case.
No, that's not the case. As a matter of fact, he was very jealous. If I saw somebody, a male figure, and say, for example, he was from my previous school and I wanted to greet him, I could not. I had to be careful of the greetings. For women, it was fine. But for a male, I would have to be very careful, because once I greet that person, I would then have to explain there and then who was that person. And so things went on like that. If my phone was ringing and it was closer to me, he would want to answer it. And so there were so many things, and if I did not want to give an answer, then war starts. So I went through a lot.
One would ask the question, for starters, because we're going to go for it, but we want to set the tone, because you know what happened? We tend to take baggages with us, and so we want to understand, is it that you took some baggages over into the second marriage, but do you think you could have done things differently? Am I a phone, for instance? Just declare, am I a phone?
Yes.
Me talk to whom I want to talk to. But or is it that it's wrong to speak to our husbands like that?
To be honest with you, in his case, I had no voice. Because once I gave my opinion, then we would have a clash. And so we would quarrel on our way to Mandeville and back. Wherever we were going, we had something simple would start a quarrel. And I thought this was unhealthy for the girls, because they would have been in the car sometimes and they would hear these things, and it kind of pained me, not only for myself but for them being girls, and to see mom accepting all this. So I needed a way out.
So you decided to leave the first marriage?
Yes.
How did things develop between, because this bishop was the bishop, everybody in the church, you know, what you call it now, honoring the bishop. How did you get close enough to get to become Mrs. Britton?
Thank you so much. I love that one. Well, after I went to the fasting, I told one of the members of the prayer group that I was with that I needed to speak to this bishop on a personal note, because the things that I was experiencing, I said I really wanted to speak with him. And since they said, whatever he says, my dear, I mean, he's hearing from the Lord, and so whatever he hears, he's going to tell you as it is. And so I wanted to hear, because I wanted to know, should I leave this man? What is the future like? So it was with that kind of idea in my head. I wanted to know what's the way forward, what is the way forward. And it's with that curiosity that I ventured. So I got his number from one of the sisters, and when I called him, we started talking in general. Then I realized by talking and talking, we started talking a little bit more frequent, and then I realized he was on my side, not the side of, no man, he's a bad person, you should never be doing something like that to a nice lady like you. And so these were words I
longed to hear.
Yes, I wanted to hear these words. And so it was nice for all that coming from a discerner, so to speak. So we started talking a little bit more. Then later on, I was ordained in under his ministry as a missionary. Later on, is one of his armor bearer, and so wherever he was going, I am supposed to be there. Later on, I became his chauffeur, because he's not a driver, so he wanted somebody to, chauffeur him around, and so I volunteered for that because I was excited now to go on mission. One of the reasons why too was because I was told that the Lord says I had lupus.
Oh, you had lupus already?
Yes, real. And I got the word from the Lord that if I do his work, he will heal me gradually. So I was excited to do the will of God. I wanted to go all over the world to do the service of the Lord. And so I was excited to go all over with this Bishop, Westmoreland, you name it, wherever. And moreover, I am the chauffeur, so you can't leave me out of this. I'm going to be there. I was also the person who moderates the services and all of that. So I was excited to be wherever this bishop was. And he had life, all of that. I was excited to be around him.
So when did it move to you no longer being the chauffeur, the moderator, just the missionary, to being Mrs. Britton?
Yes, so I met him the first Wednesday in 2013, and by the December of that year, the ending of that year, we got married.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
So you got married, and what was life like? Now, because you're now seeing from a different standpoint, you're seeing from a husband. Or I'm going to dare ask you a question. Did you see him before as a man before you became his wife?
There were some concerns, but I thought that marriage would cement it off. I saw some things that were real of concern to me. I saw some of the young ladies in the church too close for comfort to me. I would see some of them leaning over, and I was saying, you can't be perching over the bishop like that. And so there were some concerns, but I thought more or less when I get to the wife, I would change some of those, because I spoke to him about some of those, but he was saying it's okay. These are just young people, and I just want them to be comfortable about me. Another thing too, I realized that whenever the car would have been parked at his home, so whenever I go there, I noticed there were other young people there. And I was saying, he's single. But these young people were always there, and I'm saying, I was concerned about those things.
Yeah. So you would go to the house and you would see young persons. Is it that you're seeing like one particular young person, or you would see like a group of young people? Because, and I'm asking that because if it's a group, there's nothing wrong. But if you're seeing one, or when you go, you have some in the living room and one always right by his side, was that what you were seeing?
Well, most of the time I would see like one, and then another day I would see somebody else, but normally it's not in a group. As a matter of fact, I was very concerned to know that a sister, single sister, was living on the same building with just a bathroom parting her room from his room. And I am from a family that we are serious about God, and we are principled. And so there were some things I knew off the bat was a concern. I spoke to him about it, and then later on the lady had to move because it was really
disturbing.
Yes.
Want a better word.
Yes.
But you got in there.
Yes.
You got in there.
Okay, so that was a long snippet of one instance that this particular young lady got involved with a minister. And to see the ending of this, you could go over to YouTube, and the page is called Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart, just to continue watching it. It's very interesting. And share your thoughts and your comments after you have watched it, and how you would have addressed it. Or if you could see yourself in that situation, what would you have done? So that was just one of several that we had. But seeing that this one was run for a longer period, a longer time that it was supposed to run, for the sake of time, go over to YouTube and continue watching it. Yes, so in a nutshell, abuse in a Christian home, or any home for that matter, should not be condoned. And if we as Christians are seeking help from our pastors or ministers, and they're not giving us some type of solution or ways to address these situations, then, I think that you may want to seek help elsewhere, because the church should be a place where you should be able to voice your opinion in terms of a situation like this of abuse, instead of your minister telling you, pray about it, or, it will go away, or don't talk about it, those type of things. And the person that's being abused, don't be afraid to seek help, right? A lot of times it may seem like you have nowhere to go or any alternative, but there are so many resources out there for families, for women that endure abuse. So you don't have to sit in that marriage just to say, well, I don't have anywhere to go. I don't know what's going to happen to me. There are resources. It may take some time for you to get back on your feet, but you will. So, and this goes for the men that are being abused too. Let's not forget about the men. Yes, we do have men that are abused, but that is not spoken of, because, wow, a woman is going to abuse a man. How is society going to perceive that? But it happens. Amen. So whether it's a man abusing a woman or a woman abusing a man in a Christian home, it needs to be addressed. And hopefully the resolution, it's a positive resolution and it doesn't end up in death or someone going to jail, right? Let's try to find positive solutions to a situation as serious as this. So thank you for joining us tonight on this particular topic. And we look forward to bringing you more topics such as these each and every Tuesday night.
And we want to tell the audience if continue to send in the topics. If you need topics that you want us to talk about, feel free to inbox us and we will be happy to address it. Thanks for joining us tonight. We want to make way for Corey B. The journey continue from out of Brownstone. Thanks for joining us tonight. And you could stay with us. We will be playing some music. And if we cut off on Facebook, just go over to YouTube. We'll be giving you some gospel music for a minute. My name remains Fitzroy Jackson.
And I'm Susan Jackson.
And we are Chat with the Jacksons.
And we say,
we love you and God love you. And I want you to remember that COVID still a keep.
Yes.
So continue
on
to
the
practice
rise.
social distancing. And be good. Love one another as Christ loved you. We say that's where we leave you for tonight. And enjoy the ride with some music while we said peace out. Stay with us while Jennifer Campbell take us out.
Jesus, you brought me from a mighty long way. Deliver me, oh Lord, it's a mighty long way. Straighten my feet, dear Lord, on the Christian pathway. Cover me under your blood and set me free. Mighty long way, oh Lord, it's a mighty long way. Oh yes, Way down in the valley of despair, cry unto God, the one who cares and always there. When situations weigh you down and it seems you're all alone, Jesus, you're more than enough. When you're down in the valley of despair, cry unto God, the one who cares and always there. When situations weigh you down and it seems you're all alone, Jesus, you're more than enough to see me through. Set me free, dear Lord, when I cry unto you. Set me free, dear Lord, deliver me. I plead, I'm praying to you to set me free. I'm crying to you to deliver me. Set me free, deliver me. Please answer me. Answer me. You are more than enough to set me free. Thank you, Jesus. You are more than enough to deliver me. When I groan in my complaint and my heart is sore with pain, Jesus, you're more than enough to see me through. Set me free, dear Lord, when I cry unto you. Set me free, dear Lord, deliver me. I plead, I'm praying to you to set me free. I'm crying to you to deliver me. Set me free, deliver me. Please answer me. Answer me. Set me free, dear Lord, when I cry unto you. Set me free, dear Lord, deliver me. I plead, I'm praying to you to set me free. I'm crying to you to deliver me. Set me free, deliver me. Please answer me. Answer me. Set me free, deliver me. Please answer me. Answer me.
A
A big sound, a play a big tune.
My shackles are broken. The day Jesus touched me. Hey. Come on, everybody. Shackled by a heavy burden. Meet a lot of guilt and shame. Ay, 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 ay. Then the hand of Jesus.
My God!
My shackles are broken. The day Jesus touched me. Hey. Come on, everybody. Shackled by a heavy burden. Me
Have you heard about Techiback Loan Services located on the main street in Monique in the lovely parish of St. Anne, Jamaica, West Indies? In case you don't know, we offer personal loan at affordable rate. If you need cash for wedding, birthdays, funeral, Techiback Loan Services is the place for you. For more information, please call Fitzroy at 347-567-6770. Why stress? Come to Techiback Loan Services. After all, we are the best. It's that time again when you're planning your birthday parties, your funeral, your wedding, your anniversary, your family gathering, family reunion, and looking for equipment to rent or even to buy. Look no further than Rick Sales and Rental. Rick specializes in bunks-about, merry-go-round, trampoline, trackless train, snow cone machine, popcorn machine, hot dog machine, tables, chair, tent, pots, pans, knife, fork, and spoon, and many more. Contact Rick today at 631-829-7443 for your discount. Tell him that you were sent there by Chat with the Jacksons. Rick will also encourage you to continue to practice social distancing when you find the best. Why continue to look? Rick is waiting for your call. Call now.
Blessed and highly favored, born overcomer, O'Neal Givens. We no worry about hypocrite, parasite and chatty mode. Them sit down and I wonder how we make it out. While the blessing over here so and a overflow. It's a overflow. We no worry about hypocrite, parasite and chatty mode. Them sit down and I wonder how we make it out. While the blessing over here so and a overflow. It's a overflow. Till bad mind, we no worry about them. Them a smiling at your face behind. Blessed and highly favored, born overcomer, O'Neal Givens. We no worry about hypocrite, parasite and chatty mode. Them sit down and I wonder how we make it out. While the blessing over here so and a overflow. It's a overflow. We no worry about hypocrite, parasite and chatty mode. Them sit down and I wonder how we make it out. While the blessing over here so and a overflow. It's a overflow. Till bad mind, we no worry about them. Them a smiling at your face behind your back. Them gon' go talk. Them a wolf in a sheep clothes lurking in the dark. A good thing the Lord know the heart of men. Him prepare us a table before me enemies. So all the evil them a plan, tell them can't touch me. Cause me chosen from birth by the Almighty. I'm blessed, them can't stop me. We no worry about hypocrite, parasite and chatty mode. Them sit down and I wonder how we make it out. While the blessing over here so and a overflow. It's a overflow. We no worry about hypocrite, parasite and chatty mode. Them sit down and I wonder how we make it out. While the blessing over here so and a overflow. It's a overflow. Till them we blessing at the city and the field. In we going out and coming in. Until them say we bless from the rising of the sun until the time we lay down. And even when we sleep, angels that watch over us. Blessing overflowing with a plus. We not have no time for cuss. Negativity of a minus. The word of God we discuss. Abundance is a must because in God we trust. Jesus Christ, the man from Galilee, a lamp to our feet and a light to our path. My steps are led by the Lord, so me no worry about hypocrite, parasite and chatty mode. Them sit down and I wonder how we make it out. While the blessing over here so and a overflow. It's a overflow. We no worry about hypocrite, parasite and chatty mode. Them sit down and I wonder how we make it out. While the blessing over here so and a overflow. It's a overflow. Let God rise and his enemies scatter. Them attack behind we back. that no really matter. I am blessed and favored by the Father up above. Cause who God bless, no man curse. Curse words, false prophecy, tell that fi reverse. Bind it up, tear it down, cast it to the abyss. I'm covered by the blood because me born fi overcome. I'm a winner through Jesus the Son. We no worry about hypocrite, parasite and chatty mouth. Them sit down and I wonder how we make it home. While the blessing over here so and I overflow. It's a overflow. We no worry about hypocrite, parasite and chatty mouth. Them sit down and I wonder how we make it home. While the blessing over here so and I overflow. It's a overflow.
Send a shout out to the Jacksons family. And I'm telling you, better days coming. So just hold on. Yeah, man. Better days coming, no need for worry. Life too short, you need for glory. Jesus Christ, me give the glory for my testimony. Better days coming, no need for worry. Life too short, you need for glory. Jesus Christ, me give the glory. I'm a testimony. Tune into the Jackson every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. US time.